Hello, I'm with Jose Rivera, Senior Vice President, Strategy and Communications for Schneider Electric. How you doing today, Jose?
I'm doing great, Craig.
You know, when I think of Schneider Electric, I always think certainly of your energy initiatives, but also certainly customers with sustainability, regulatory compliance. Those are some of the biggest issues that your customers face today. So what do you do specifically at Schneider Electric to help them meet issues such as sustainability, energy savings, and regulatory requirements?
Okay. I agree with you that sustainability is here to stay and it will continue to become a more important issue for customers to tackle. The way we help our customers meet their sustainability targets is through better energy management. This is where we concretely come in and play. And let me give you an example. If you ask an industrial manufacturer to reduce their energy consumption, it's really easy for them to do it. They just produce less. But that is not the goal. The goal really is to reduce the consumption per unit of output, because that is really what makes sense for them to do. And so what we enable them to do through deployment of systems, through deployment of an open architecture that we call EcoStruxure, we allow them to integrate all the different systems and operations, not just at the manufacturing site, but throughout their enterprise, including the buildings, the data centers, and drive towards the goals of energy management.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, we know how a strong portion energy is in your strategy today, and many of your acquisitions that you've made, partnerships. As you look down the road to your future plans, how do you even see even further enhancing your strategy for energy going forward?
I think that the industrial world has just started their route towards a better energy efficient approach. We are just starting, and I'm speaking here for the whole industry. There are a lot of ways to help customers get there. And let me give you some examples. In the past, we used to have organizations that were silos. You had the people that were managing the infrastructure, and they had their systems, and then you had people that were managing the operations, and then they had their systems. The goals that these organizations had were conflicting, and they were not driving towards an improved energy efficiency, which was not the goal. But if we are able to put these systems in a way that they can exchange the information and put it in a context, then you can drive common goals.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know with all your energy initiatives, what other initiatives are you taking with your customers that kind of helps them, kind of meet their specific value propositions, even beyond energy?
What you have been seeing lately is two things. One is increased competition from relatively new parts of the world, emerging markets. And what you have also seen is a lot of volatility. So what the first trend indicates or forces you to do is to be much more flexible and faster on the market. So by us having systems that are easy to program, easy to set up and deploy, you're helping these customers react much quicker and with more technology when they're competing in an industrial world. When you're now dealing with the trend of an increased volatility of our markets, what you need is to provide the customers with the flexibility to adjust their products, their production rates, and their output to very volatile conditions in the market. So this is other ways that we provide our customers with an advantage when it comes to competing in today's world.
Yeah. What are your customers telling you as far as what do they see as their biggest challenges in 2012 and going forward? Energy and even above and beyond energy.
When you talk to customers, what they will tell you is they have been going on an up and down ride, and it is very hard for them to manage their business. So we only need to take a look at 2009 and 10. We were in a crisis. 2011, the first half of the year, was in a boom. We now back into what could be, a more conservative market. And if you are now running plants, running manufacturing site or processes, this is probably the worst situation that you want to be in. So again, it's a matter of being able to have the flexibility in your systems to ride as much as you can this volatility that we have in the markets today.
Yeah. Because, it's interesting you bring that up because, none of us have to say how bad things were in 2009 for the global economy, and things certainly over the last several years have recovered. What did Schneider Electric learn from that experience, and how will that kind of change how Schneider Electric runs the business going forward?
So every crisis is an opportunity for change. And during the crisis, we did some very important acquisitions, very aggressive acquisitions for our company. For example, we bought the distribution portion of Rivera. So that gave us strength, additional strength in the medium voltage side, which is very prevalent in the industrial world. So it was a big sacrifice from our company to leverage that crisis that created an opportunity for us to acquire this business. So that's one example. But the other thing that our company has seen is that through this crisis, the emerging economies have acquired more power. So a lot of this power has shifted to emerging economies. So it gave us an incentive to accelerate our programs that we already had to be ever more present in these emerging economies. So a very big portion of our sales is today in emerging markets.
Okay. And as a last question, certainly a company that's based in France is certainly all too aware of the European debt crisis and all the news that we hear regarding it. Certainly a lot of your customers are affected by it or certainly hear the news. So have you seen, what kind of effect has the European debt crisis had on some of your customers' plans as far as for capital expenditures, operational expenditures, just being, are they, cautious, or just on Schneider Electric as a whole?
Yes, it's a good question. We are a multinational that happens to be headquartered in France, and that's the way I like to see about our company. France is by far not our largest market, has not been for decades. What I would like to say is that in today's environment where we are so global and the systems are so interconnected, the European crisis is really a global crisis. It is impacting everybody. So yes, it continues to put the economy in a volatile and unstable environment. And what we have also are the leftovers from the previous crisis where the governments intervened heavily to mitigate the past crisis. So today they don't have the funds anymore to intervene as heavily as they did last time. So we will continue to see this volatility. I think that what we see is in mature economies, the role of OPEX, of the OPEX business is becoming ever more important compared to CAPEX business. But then you go to some parts of the world where, let's say, China, they're slowing down a little bit, but they're still growing, and they're double-digit growth. And the countries that supply commodities to them, for example, Australia, barely saw the economic crisis of the past. So we have a very complex picture around with a lot of opportunities in some places, in other places drive towards change and adaptation of your business models to suit a different business situation.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Jose. And this is Craig Resnick from the ARC Orlando Forum, February 2012. Thanks and have a great day.